Holy fuck. Okay, cool. Hello there, welcome back to my channel. My name's Paige. Thank you so much for subscribing. If you're new, hello, and if you're old, hello as well. Ooh, I'm going to play with my hair a lot more than usual probably because I'm a little bit more anxious to do this video. This one's more of a serious one and I'm not a very serious person. Ding ding ding. Shut up. But I saw a thing on Twitter the other day and it was a poster in oh god, I'm nervous. It was a poster in New York City that said why I didn't report. So it was like hashtag why I didn't report. So this is it. Someone put, I did, you called me a liar. Now, I don't know much about politics, let alone American politics, but with the whole Judge Kavanaugh situation and how he's just about to do something in America and now women are coming forward and making these allegations. So loads of females and women came forward and it only came out once someone else did. Now I think like that's such a brave thing to do, to be the first one to come out and say, yeah, this happened to me by this man, because you don't know how many people it's happened to previously. You don't know whether you're the first and only person or one of many, and sometimes you kind of squash what's happened to you, you kind of like lock it away, you don't talk about it because you think, well, I don't want to embarrass myself, I don't want to tell anyone, no one's going to believe me, everyone's going to think I've made it up to get attention. But people don't report, girls don't report, and guys don't report if it happens to them as well. But I thought about doing a video about why I didn't report. I'm going to try and make it as least dramatic as I can because I don't want to exaggerate any of the story. It is what happened and I wanted to say, oh, I'm so nervous. Shit my pants. Okay, it's cool. I wanted to say why I didn't report. Why am I getting like this? I'm not crying, I'm curling my eyelashes with my fingers. Okay, so. Oh, it's just an awkward video because I hate being serious. Right. I saw this post in New York and I thought, you know what? That's such a massive hashtag, like there's going to be so many stories that can come from that. This could be such a huge movement like the Me Too movement, and it might help people come forward about stuff that's happened to them or stuff that will happen to them in the future. And I think if I do a video, I don't know if it's going to help anyone, I don't know what I'm going to get from this video. I know a lot of my friends and family don't know this particular story. I know my mum and my sister do. My story is why I didn't report was because he was literally one of my best lad friends and I'd known him all my life. So yeah, I'll tell you the story, and I doubt I'll get upset because I use humour to block out all the emotions behind it. We'll see. It happened when I was 20. I don't want to give out all the details of this person. I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to keep everything as private as I can. But basically we'd known each other more or less all our lives. We were close. Yeah, we were close. I don't want to give out too many details because I don't want anyone to work out who he is. I'm not out here to ruin his life. Anyway, I went to this guy's uni. He picked me up in the morning. It was a few hours away. I met a few of his mates. Well, the two that he had. And then we went out drinking. We went out for the night. Now, we had pre-drinks and everything. And I remember drinking wine. I don't drink wine to this day. And that's one of the reasons, because it reminds me of this night. I wasn't tipsy. I wasn't sober. I was absolutely fucked. And I remember, there's only one part of the night I remember, which was being at the bar and him buying me a drink. For some reason I think it was a double vodka Red Bull. And I remember the place being red. Yeah, I just remember the place being red that we was in. But anyway, the remainder of that night's a mystery. God knows what happened. Stayed at his mate's house, who, like one of his uni mates maybe. Just in this big double bed that was like a bed, wall, mirror and window, and we must have fell asleep, or I pass out when I'm a bit drunk. I definitely went to sleep straight away, and then I remember waking up to this guy kissing me. So basically he was just like on top of me and kind of like getting with me, so I was completely unresponsive until I woke up and realised what was going on. That must have been a shit kiss. So yeah, he was like kissing me for God knows what reason. I remember being like, whoa, what are you doing? Like, seriously, what are you doing? And I remember him getting off and like lying in his back, and it was just complete pitch black. I was just staring at the ceiling, and I remember him just talking, like, why he thinks it was a good idea, why he thinks we should do it. We've always been friends, he's always cared about me, this sort of bollocks. He just gave me loads of excuses as to why he thinks it should happen, and when I say it, he meant he wanted sex. And I remember vividly saying, I don't think this is a good idea, this is not how it should be with someone. You should both want to do it, it shouldn't be like this, you shouldn't have to speak about it. Anyway, I fell back into a complete pissed person again, and I don't remember how it happened or what he did. I don't remember I don't remember. Like, I just remember it happening, and I'm so paralytic still at this point. You know when you're that paralytic that you have a complete sober 30 seconds of where you're like, whoa, where am I? How have I got here? And what the fuck's going on? I had that moment, and at this moment, the guy was on top of me. Now, I remember thinking, what the hell is going on? Like, this isn't what I want to happen. There's times when I'm trying to get to sleep at night, and this will just pop into my head, and I'll have flashbacks about specific moments of that evening. And one of them is, I remember vivid parts, but then absolutely nothing of the majority of it. I remember the smell of his skin, the alcohol. I remember how his skin felt on mine, and I remember the feel of the sheets underneath as well. And I just remember being in this dark room, I couldn't see anything, and just things were happening to me that I didn't want to happen. I didn't know what was going on, and I remember just saying, can we stop? Like, what is going on? Can we just stop now? I don't remember whether it stopped straight away or it happened for a little while longer or what, because I fell back into being a pissed person again. But then the next thing I remember is waking up at about 6 o'clock in the morning. It was just getting light outside, and I went to the bathroom, and I literally just stared at myself for so long. I literally just stared at myself literally straight in the eyes and was like, what's happened? And I remember feeling like really low and dark about what just happened. I just wanted to go home, and there was no way for me to get home. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, we were hours away from home. I must have just gone back to sleep for a little bit because I was that hungover, my head was pounding. And then when we woke up in the morning, we didn't speak about what had happened. He wasn't affectionate with me, he wasn't saying nice things. He kind of just got up and pretended that nothing had happened, and in all honesty, it was just awkward. Like, if that thing happens between you and a person, and if that person likes you, they should feel happy about it, but he didn't. He was kind of just very weird with me. I was extremely weird with him, and I didn't know whether he knew what he'd done was bad or whether he was happy about what had happened. I just don't know. But anyway, we couldn't go home because he was over the limit, so he was refusing to drive home, even though I really wanted to get home ASAP. And eventually when we did start like the journey home, it was like 3 to 4 hours, or what felt like 3 to 4 hours. And I remember just staring out my window the whole time. Now my neck literally was stuck there because I'd looked out there, I pretended to be asleep the whole journey home, and I was very much awake. And then when he pulled up at my house, I knew my mum was in because I could see her car. He walked me to my door, and I think he took my bag to the door. Fucking gentleman. And I think he hugged me. It was a very awkward hug, like what you can imagine. And I remember shutting the door and then just feeling a sigh of relief not to be in his company anymore. And I saw my mum at the back of the kitchen, and I literally just like walked straight up to her and just hugged her for as long as I could and just burst into tears. And she literally was like trying to hold me back and was like, what's happened? Why are you so upset for? Like, what's happened? And I was just like, what do you think's happened? And she went, have you slept with him? You haven't slept with him, have you? And I could not control my emotion. I was like completely fucking so upset about what had happened. I even said, like, I want to kill myself. Like, I don't want to be here. Like, knowing that I've oh God. I remember like being so upset about what had happened, and my mum pushed me away and went, I can't look at you the same, because she knows the guy, and she knows like that he's not someone that I think the majority of the universe would ever want to go with. Not being horrible, I'm not being shallow, but he was not my type. And I know that my friends would be like, are you joking? Him? Because he was just, yeah. Anyway, I said to my mum, like, I didn't want it to happen. It's not something I wanted. I didn't initiate it. I just know it happened. I know it happened. And I still think about it when I'm going to bed. And it was when I was 20, it was like 6 years ago now. After it happened, he messaged me on Facebook asking why I wasn't texting him back, and I just blocked him straight away. I blocked him out. I stopped texting him, but I just blocked him out of my life. And it was weird because we'd been best friends for so long that he didn't even try to contact me ever again. He's married now, like he's literally married to someone that looks quite like me. But I didn't report it because I thought, was it me? Did I let it happen? Like, or did I have no control over it? I didn't report because he was my best friend. I didn't report because he knew me. I didn't know whether I let him think it was okay to do what he did. I don't know, and that's why I didn't report, because I knew the guy. If it was a stranger, then yeah, 100% I would have reported it straight away. But because I knew him and he was a close person in my life, I didn't. I've heard, like, statistically, you're more than likely to be taken advantage of by someone you know rather than a stranger. And I never believed that. I always thought, nah, someone you know wouldn't do that. Speaking to other girls about it, it has happened to girls with guys that they know. And it's mind blowing. I don't know why you'd ever want to put someone in that position. So I don't talk about that experience that often, and when I do, I joke about it. I turn it into a humorous story. Just literally, it's kind of like a defence mechanism. Some of my closest friends don't even know the story, and I can imagine just from by speaking about it, they'll kind of take a guess at who it is. And when I had my first girlfriend, she was like, oh, I love drunk sex, and I was like, it's a complete write-off for me. I don't ever want to not know what I'm doing. Like, I just can't have drunk sex with anyone. I fucking hate it. I'm numb inside when I'm drunk. I don't know how anyone can enjoy drunk sex. And like, even to this day, I really struggle to be affectionate with people, and this is a massive reason why. I never make the first move with people. I don't touch people first. I don't even do that much in bed, and this is where I've got the Pillow Princess name from. People think it's because I'm lazy and that I just love to receive. I'd never ever want to go away from a situation and look back and think, did they want that to happen? I'm just so terrified of ever making anyone feel the way that this guy made me feel. I just never ever want to be, I just can't do it. We've never ever spoke again, like, I've never spoke to him ever again. He's married now. He invited me to the fucking wedding through my sister. Very select few of my friends know it happened. If you're watching this and I didn't tell you, it's not because I don't trust you or I don't want to tell you these things. It's because I was so ashamed of what had happened, because I'm not being funny. Come on. Jesus Christ. Oh God, I need to neck some of this beer to go over it. If you'd have seen him, fucking hell, man, Jesus Christ. If it had happened to me now, no doubt I would report straight away. Like, I know now who I am and I have enough self-respect for myself. But back then when I was 20, I was young, I was naive, 100%. They took advantage of me, they did. Sex should never be a girl drunk or a boy drunk and something happening to that person that they didn't want to happen. Sex should be the most passionate time between two people where they both want it and they both want it to happen. I was straight, or what I thought was straight, when it had happened. That was such an experience that I really hated about growing up. I 100% think it affected me. It's just disgusting. Like, I just can't believe it. Like, he never tried to really contact me, which I find horrific, because he did the bad thing. Why isn't he trying to apologise to me? He never said sorry. And there's been so many times that I've wanted to message him and be like, do you know what you did? Like, do you know? Like, did he do this to anyone else? Was I the only one? Like, does he know how much it affected me? Because I don't think he does. I've never got the closure from it because we've never spoke ever again, and I don't want to see him. I don't want to speak to him. But a lot of people have had it so much worse off than me. You don't know whether you're that one or you're one of 100. You just don't know. And they need that. If you report it and something comes from it, then you're going to stop it from happening to at least one person. I don't even know if this video will help anyone. It's kind of just like, I've never sat down and really spoke about it or thought about that whole entire evening. What gets me about the whole situation, and like, I don't think I reported it because he didn't act like he'd done anything wrong. He acted like it was nothing, and then looking back now, I know that from that day, from that night it happened, I didn't have any self-esteem. Like, I didn't feel like I was worth anything after that, because he just disregarded that night as just something that had happened. I always just used to say yes to people. I used to let people do stuff that I didn't want to do because I was scared that if I said no, then they'd do it anyway. I've still never got that sorry. I've never had that message to say what I did was wrong and I'm so sorry about it. I was young, or I've had nothing from him. I still have got anger towards the situation. It still annoys me, the fact that he's just swanning about his life now, married to this girl, probably not even thinking about me or about what he did and how it affected me. Like, does he know that what he did was wrong? He must do, because his mum never spoke to my mum ever again. He didn't try and reach out to me. If you don't think you've done something wrong, you will reach out to that person and make sure they know you don't feel like you've done anything wrong, or make them see it from your point of view. He's never argued his point. He's never done anything to make me think what he did was a right thing. Yeah. I'm so sorry it was a serious vid. I feel like once I saw that post in New York, I was kind of like motivated to do a video similar to saying why I didn't report. And I hope, if anyone watches this, I don't want you to feel sorry for me, because a lot of people have had it worse off than me, 10,000 times worse. But if it happens to you, or if it does happen to you, report it, because that one warning from a police officer could make them stop it or think about what they've done. And that one warning from them, or as soon as you let them know what they've done and how it's affected you, these people need to know what they're doing is completely wrong. Like, it's something I feel so strongly about. I always have.